Alright, in this video we're going to talk about managing the artificial lights in our scene. So Podium gives us several ways to find, select, and edit the artificial lights in a SketchUp model other than simply selecting them manually in the viewport. Now, the reason this is worth talking about at all is that it can be a bit of a chore to actually select the podium light in some of these fixtures. These aren't too bad of an example, but if I zoom in, you can see the actual podium light is embedded inside a light bulb. So I have to drill into the component, drill into the light bulb component, hide this outer surface, and then I can finally select the podium light. So it's quite a bit of steps to do something that should be extremely simple, and I'm going to show you a few easier ways to get this done. So let me go back to that wider scene. And the first tool I want to mention are the toggle point light and toggle spotlight options. So these are found in the extensions menu, SU Podium version 2.6, tools, and we have here toggle point lights and toggle spotlights. And there's not too much to explain here. As the name implies, these act as a global toggle for all the point lights or spotlights in your model. So if you just need a quick way to turn off all of your lights or turn on all of your lights, this is the option you want to use. And this kitchen's a great example because between these recessed lights in the ceiling and these two suspended fixtures, we probably have over 30 Omni lights in the model. So let me go back up to extensions and click the toggle point lights option. It's going to analyze the model. We get a dialog. 33 of 33 are turned on. Turn them off. I click yes, and it's going to turn off all those lights. It'll take a second to run through the process, and then we're going to get an analyze dialog that confirms the process has been completed. So there it is, 33 point lights, 33 are turned off, and we know that it worked. And then of course, the spotlight option does exactly the same thing, but with spotlights instead of point lights. Okay? Now, something I want to add is that this is an all or nothing toggle. So let me give you a quick example to show what I mean. I'm just going to place a single Omni light with a light power of 1 right here, and then I'm going to duplicate it. I'll just say 6 times. X6. So we've got 6 Omni lights. They're all turned on. And if I come up to the toggle point lights, 7 are on, turn them off, yes. We now have 7 point lights that are turned off. So the toggle works very predictably when all the lights have the same starting state. But there's a little bit of ambiguity when the lights have a mixed state. So what I'm going to do is come in here, I'm going to grab this first one, and I'm going to turn it on manually. So that's 1. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. 1. Okay, so now we've got 2 lights turned on and 5 lights turned off. And when I press the toggle, tools, toggle point lights, it says 5 of 7 are turned off. Turn them on. So the toggle script isn't sophisticated enough to identify the on-off state of each light individually and then simply invert it. What happens is it tries to either turn everything on or turn everything off. And the way it does this is to identify the majority state and then flip it. So in this case, Podium is recognizing that the majority of the lights are turned off and then asks whether we'd like to turn them all on. And this goes the other direction too. So if I click yes, we're going to end up with all of the lights turned on. And now if I just select one of these on the end here, set the light power to 0, now we have the majority of the lights turned on and one of them turned off. So we've got 6 lights turned on, 1 light turned off. If I come up to the toggle, Podium's going to try to turn all of the lights off. So 6 of 7 point lights are turned on, turn them off now. It's identifying which on-off state has the majority, and then it's just simply trying to reverse it. Okay, so that's the toggle script and some of its limitations. So what do we do if we need a little bit more control? Well, as we saw before, you can always select the lights manually in the viewport, but a better option is to use the light fixture outliner. Okay, so the light fixture outliner is found in the Podium Extras menu under Extensions, Podium Extras, Light Fixture Outliner. And what it is a lightweight version of the outliner that only shows Podium artificial lights. So the benefit of this is that it gives us an easy way to find and adjust Podium lights without having to select them in the viewport, which, as we saw at the beginning of the video, can be a little bit annoying and sometimes time-consuming, especially if we have a complicated scene like this kitchen where maybe we have 30 or even 40 Podium artificial light fixtures. Okay, so the light fixture outliner just streamlines the process because our lights are shown right here in this neat, concise list. So here are the functions that I can perform from this window. The first thing is that any light that I select in the outliner is also going to be selected in the SketchUp viewport. So this makes it really easy to tell exactly which light I'm editing. So if I select the GE monogram hood, this is the stove hood, and you can see it's now selected in the SketchUp viewport. So I know if I make edits to this light, I can tell exactly which one I'm working on. The Santicoal M68, these are the two overhead fixtures in the kitchen here, selected in the viewport. And then this group number 5 is the recessed lights in the ceiling. So the SketchUp group and component hierarchy is maintained. I have to expand the group to see all these individual Cooper light fixtures. But let's find one that's actually in the view of the camera. So actually, yeah, first try. So you can see these bottom ones here are this very back row of recessed lights. So if I select 26, it's over here in the corner. 25 is on the other side, 24 and 23. And what we can do from the light fixture outliner is turn these on and off individually. So say I want this entire back row to be turned off. I just right-click, hide, right-click, hide, right-click, hide, 23, right-click, hide. And now this 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all hidden. And you can tell that they're hidden in the light fixture outliner by expanding the component. And you'll see the light bulbs are bold. So if I expand all 4 of these are all bold, which means they're hidden. And if I wanted to turn them on, I just do the same thing. Right click and unhide. And now those lights are turned back on again. Although these recessed lights actually have 2 different bulb options, so we want to make sure we're only turning one of them on. So we want to choose between the incandescent or halogen option. So in this case, let's say I want all 4 of the lights to be turned on with the incandescent bulb. So I'm going to go back to that halogen and just hide it. And now we have the incandescent bulb turned on and the halogen bulb turned off. So I'm just going to go and unhide, unhide, unhide. And now we have all 4 of these lights turned on using their incandescent light option, which is just a slightly warmer light color than the halogen. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is how easy this makes it to select and edit the actual Podium Omnilight. So at the beginning of the video, I zoomed in on this hanging light fixture and showed you how sort of difficult and silly it was to drill all the way down into the light bulb, hide the light bulb geometry, and then finally we're able to select the Podium Omnilight. Well, with the light fixture outliner, I can just expand the Santicoal, select that incandescent light, or whichever one I'm currently using, make sure it's unhidden, so turned on. And now I have that Podium Omnilight selected, and if I want to edit it, I can just open the Podium Light System window. And as you can see, it's got a light power of 1, and it's got this warm incandescent tone. But if I want to change the color, I can just click the dots, set this to whatever I want, click OK, and then maybe I want to double the light power, so I set this to 2. Close that, and we're good to go. So I can just open the Podium Light System window one more time to make sure that those changes were saved, and they were. We've got our nice new blue greenish color, and the light power is set to 2. So I think that's pretty much going to cover light management. So one more time, we went through the 2 toggle options under Tools, Toggle Point Lights, Toggle Spotlights, and then we just covered the light fixture outliner, which is part of the Podium Extras menu. So Podium Extras, light fixture outliner. Okay, thanks a lot. I will see you guys in the next one.